Hi friends, my name is krishnaakumalla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss on diminishing balances method. The same method can be called as written down value method or reducing balance method, right? We are also going to discuss how to calculate depreciation rate in diminishing balances method. These are the topics we are going to discuss today, right? Without wasting much time, let us get into the topic. Okay guys, what do you mean by diminishing balances method? How do we calculate depreciation in this method? Right? Let me tell you with an example. Let us say I purchased an asset for 1 lakh. I purchased an asset for 1 lakh. And depreciation rate has been decided at a 10%. Depreciation rate has been decided at 10%. So, first year, what do we do? 1 lakh into 10%. That will be 10,000. First year, depreciation is going to be 10,000. How did we calculate? 1 lakh into 10 by 100 equal to 10,000. Second year, should not calculate depreciation on 1 lakh. What we are supposed to do is 1 lakh minus 10,000. That is how much? 90,000. So second year depreciation has to be calculated on 90,000 into 10 by 100. So it is going to be 9,000. Third year, 90,000 minus 9,000, 81,000. So third year it is going to be 81,000 into 10 by 100 is equal to 8,100. So what is your observation here? First year we calculated on original cost of 1 lakh to 10 by 100 equal to 10. So we reduced this 10,000 rupees from the asset value. So it has come to 90,000. 90,000 into 10 by 100, 9,000. This 9,000 again we deducted, reduced from original cost, 90,000. Correct? So it has come to 81,000. 81,000 into 10 by 100, 8,000. So we are calculating the depreciation on reducing balances. First 1 lakh, then 90,000, then 81,000. So it keeps reducing. So asset value, we are deducting depreciation from the asset value. We are reducing the depreciation from the asset value so that our asset value also will be reduced and accordingly depreciation will be calculated, number one. Number two, see the depreciation. First year it is 10,000, second year 9,000, third year 8,100. So year on year basis your depreciation is reduced. So your asset value is reducing and your depreciation value is also reducing. Your depreciation value is also reducing. So that is the reason why we are calling this method as diminishing balances method or reducing balances method. That means what? Every year the balance will be reduced to the extent of depreciation being calculated in that year, and next year depreciation will be calculated on the reduced value. Reduced value is 90,000. Next year reduced value is 81,000. Like this, every year we are reducing the depreciation and calculating the depreciation on balance amount. So that is the reason we call it as reducing balances method or diminishing balances method or written down value method. We are writing down the value. We are taking out the depreciation value and calculating next year depreciation. Then again we reduce the same depreciation from the asset and then we calculate the depreciation. So that means we are calculating depreciation on written down value method. Right. If you see the depreciation, I also told you depreciation is also being reduced. 10,000, 9,000, 8,100. So the advantage of this method is, see, initial stages you will be charging higher value of depreciation. Initial stages you will be charging higher value of the depreciation. Why? Because you are calculating on reducing balances method. If you see year on year basis, your depreciation amount will be keep on reducing. The benefit of this is initial stages you will not get repairs and maintenance for machineries, right? That time, if you charge higher depreciation, you will get benefited because your P&L will not get impacted. Over a period of time, what will happen? Repairs and repairs will start. You will start incurring the repairs on the machinery. You will start repairing because of wear and tear. You will start incurring some expenses towards repairs and maintenance. Correct? That time, if the depreciation value is less, your P&L will not be impacted. For example, if I prepare P&L account, first year 10,000 we charge depreciation. Correct? That time will not have much repairs and maintenance because it is a new asset. Next year it is going to be 9,000. Even then your repairs and maintenance will not be much. The minute you start going year on year basis, probably maybe after 3 years, you will be charging only around 7,000 depreciation. That means what? Your depreciation value is keep on reducing. From here onwards, maybe second year, third year onwards, your repairs and maintenance amount might be increased. So you can balance your repairs and the depreciation because initial stages you are charging higher depreciation in diminishing balances method where that time the repairs and maintenance cost will be less. Whereas in straight line method, how that is going to be in straight line method, how we used to calculate depreciation? We used to calculate depreciation based on the original cost of the asset. Since we are calculating the fixed amount of depreciation, every year depreciation is going to be common. Suppose if I calculate 10,000 rupees depreciation first year, same depreciation in first year, second year, third year, for the till the life of the asset, you will be calculating 10,000 rupees as a depreciation in straight line method. Whereas in diminishing balances method, you keep reducing your depreciation amount on year basis, so that you can compensate your repairs and maintenance expenditure in your P&L account to the extent of depreciation is reduced. So it will not have much impact on your P&L account. That is the reason most of the people, this is a popular method. Reducing balances method is a popular method wherein people will start applying the depreciation based on diminishing balances. Are you clear? Then, how do we calculate the depreciation rate here? We need to calculate the depreciation rate, right? How do we calculate depreciation rate? For that, there is a formula given. 1 minus nth root of residual value divided by cost of assets into 100. 1 minus nth root of residual value by cost of assets into 100. How do I calculate my depreciation? This is very important. I will explain. I prepared one Excel sheet for easy understanding. I will show you how to prepare this, how to arrive the rate of depreciation by using this formula, right? So just give me a minute. I will go to the Excel sheet and I will show you that. Guys, right? Right now you see, what is the cost of the asset? 10,000. I have taken example of cost of the asset 1 lakh. Sorry, not 10,000. Cost of the asset I have taken 1 lakh. What is the residual value? That means after useful life, the asset residual value is 10,000. Then net value of the asset is going to be 90,000 because 1 lakh is the original cost, 10,000 is the residual value. You reduce that. What is the net value of the asset? 90,000. Useful life I have taken only 3 years as an example in this case, because if I take 10 years, it will be difficult for me to explain and video length also will be high. So that is the reason I've taken 3 years as a useful life for explaining purpose. Okay. Now, what is that formula says? 1 minus nth root of residual value by cost of assets into 100. I will explain one by one here. Step 1. What we need to do? Residual value divided by cost of asset we need to calculate. What is the residual value? 10,000. This is what is the residual divided by cost of the asset is how much? 1 lakh. First, calculate this. 10,000 divided by 1 lakh. You put it in calculator. You will get 0.1. You will get 0.1. If you put 10,000 divided by 1 lakh, you get 0.1. So right now, what you did, calculated the value of residual value divided by cost of asset. 10,000 divided by 1 lakh equal to 0.1. So step 1 is over. Are you clear so far in step 1? Then go to step 2. Step 2 is what? Nth root of 0.1 we need to calculate. What it says here, residual value divided by cost of asset, we calculated as 0.1. But here it says nth root of residual value divided by cost of asset. How do we calculate nth root? That is important. For that, I will show you one Excel sheet. Sorry, one Google. I'll go to Google and show you how to calculate nth root. Okay. So I'm going here. See here. This is the nth root calculation. I'm showing you the nth root calculation. Okay. How do we do? Here, root is mentioned here, right? See here. Root. Here I kept 3. Why I kept 3? Because useful life is 3. So n is equal to nth root. N is equal to 3 years. N is equal to useful life. N is nothing but useful life in this formula. So why I kept 3 here? Since I am calculating nth root, n is equal to useful life. Useful of the life of the asset, what I have taken in this example is 3 years. Since I took as 3 years useful life, I kept 3 here. I hope you are clear on this. Then I calculated scrap value divided by cost of asset. How much? 10,000 divided by 1 lakh I did. So when I did that, I got 0.1 value, right? So I kept that 0.1 value here. I kept 0.1 value. Then when I calculated nth root, you will get this value. 0.464158834. You need to calculate the total figure. You need to take total figure. What is this? Nth root of scrap by cost of the asset is equal to 0.464158834. Guys, I'm once again explaining this. This is very important. Our formula says nth root of scrap value or residual value, SCRAP, scrap value divided by cost of asset. Cost of asset. Nth root, n is nothing but 3 years. 3 years, nth root of scrap value 10,000 divided by 1 lakh. So nth root of 10,000 divided by 1 lakh equal to 0.1. This when I did this, I got 0.1. So nth root of 0.1 is how much? 0.464158888. This is how you need to calculate nth root. So for that purpose, you will have calculators. All calculators will have this how to calculate nth root. Since I cannot show you the calculator here in the video, I took this nth root calculator in the in Google, and I showed you how to calculate this value. Hope you are very clear on this point. Now I'm going back to my Excel sheet now. Excel sheet, step 2. Step 2, how did I get? I calculated nth root for 0.1. So I got the amount 0.461588883. I have taken the same amount. So 0.1, how I get? By doing this exercise. Nth root, when I calculated, I got this point. Steps are over. Third step. Nth root I calculated. Now I completed this. I need to multiply that with 100. I need to multiply with 100. So this value, whatever I'm showing here, this value has to be multiplied with 100. That is what the formula says. Multiply with 100. Right? So this value I multiplied with 100. I got 46.4158834. What I did? I multiplied this value with 100. So when I multiplied with 100, how much I got? 46.4158834. Are you getting? Right. Now we completed the this part, total part, residual value by cost of asset into 100, and we calculated the nth root as well. Then we got 46.415. Now what we need to do, what is the depreciation rate? Depreciation rate equal to 1 minus, this is the calculation we need to do, right? So 100 minus this 46.415 if you calculate, you will get 53.58%. This is the depreciation rate we apply on this, asset, on 1 lakh asset, on reducing balances method. Are you clear? So step 4, how did we get? This 1 minus is nothing but 100 minus this value, 46.41, whatever we calculate. 100 minus that value is coming to 53.5841166. So once we get this value, we know now what is the depreciation. This is the rate of depreciation. Rate of depreciation. Are you clear? So this is how the rate of depreciation has to be calculated by using this formula. Once you apply this depreciation, how the depreciation is going to be, we'll see. First year, 1 lakh is the asset. Then 53.58411.6, 1 lakh into 53.58411166 percentage. You apply in your calculator. You will get 46,000. Sorry, you will get 53,584 as the depreciation. You will get 53,584 is the depreciation. 1 lakh into 53.584. If you do this percentage, you get this is the depreciation. So we calculated, see here, we calculated 53,584 as the depreciation. After reducing this 1 lakh minus 53,584, you got net book value as 46,416. This is the net book value which will be carried forward to next year. Now we will go to the second year. Second year, this will become the balance in asset. So 46,416 asset value, if I take on this, again I need to calculate this 53.58%. So when I calculate on this, it will become 24,872 is the second year depreciation. Then what I'm supposed to do, this asset 46,416 minus 24,872, it will come to 21,544 is the book value, net book value of the asset. Second year. Third year, this will become asset opening value. So 21,544 I have taken. Then calculate 53.58%. Then your depreciation is going to be 11,544. Then you reduce this, you will get 10,000 balance. So 3 years I have taken useful life, right? 3 years I have calculated the depreciation. As soon as I calculated 3 years of depreciation, what is the net book value I received on end of the third year? End of the third year, I got 10,000 as the net book value. So what is this 10,000? This 10,000 is nothing but my salvage value or residual value or scrap value. You can call it as salvage value, you can call it as scrap value, you can call it as residual value. So you got 10,000 residual value. That shows your calculation is correct, your depreciation rate calculation is correct. This is how you need to make sure that you are calculating the depreciation accordingly. This is very important. You should know how to calculate this formula. So what did we do? Quick glance. Residual value 10,000 divided by cost of asset 1 lakh. If I put, I got 0.1. And I need to calculate nth root of 0.1. For that, I already showed you in the calculator how to calculate nth root. So once we calculate nth root, we got this value. Then what we need to do? We need to do 1 minus this value. We need to put. So, sorry, this nth root we got it. Then we multiplied with 100. You got this value. Once it is multiplied with 100, you need to reduce this amount from 100. You got the depreciation rate. Very simple. And you started applying depreciation rate on this residual value in reducing balances, not residual value. Reducing balances. You started applying this percentage on reducing balances. The minute you started calculating depreciation on reducing balances, you by end of the third year, you got 10,000 rupees as the salvage value or closing balance. That closing balance is nothing but your residual value or salvage value. This is how the depreciation has to be, rate has to be calculated, and this is how the depreciation has to be calculated in diminishing balances method or return down value method. I hope you are clear on this. That's all for today. Thank you so much.